From weathered back roads to the blazing edge of faith, this is where grit meets grace. Welcome to the place where truth ain't tame and stories burn brighter than the flame. This is the Gunpowder, Propane and Jesus Podcast. Real talk, real calling, no polish, just purpose. Let's light it up.
Woo! That was good. This is episode 1, by the way. We've never recorded an episode before.
Yeah.
This is the Gunpowder, Propane and Jesus Podcast. We got Aaron Clark. Hey, Aaron, you're looking really handsome today.
There we go. Already.
We got Jordan Overton.
Hey.
He's in the Greek shirt today. Thought it said Greek. It says Creek.
It says Creek.
And he has a matching C on his hat. Did you plant that outfit?
I've been wearing this hat.
No, I literally called him and he jumped out of bed and came straight here.
His mom put his clothes out for him.
That's old Bruce Kernaghan. He is the ugliest man I have ever met.
I'll take that.
No, he's a very good looking dude. Oh, you're just going to take a phone call?
He has to phone call. It's the County Board of Education.
Oh, okay.
He is an importante man.
Okay.
Important. We're going to lose Jordan for about 5-10 minutes now.
That's fine. I just turned his mic down so it wouldn't pick up for right now.
So for all of you, hopefully millions and millions of listeners, probably 8 of y'all right
We're
now.
going to be bigger than Theo Van.
Theo Van, yeah. I'd like to have him on the show one day. Talk
That'd
a little
be cool.
Jesus with him. That'd be cool.
You know who
Him or Rogan.
You know what I was thinking about? I would love to have on the show just because I think it'd be cool. And you remind me of him, Shia LaBeouf.
Jesus help me.
Did y'all see Fury?
Yeah.
Man, he was so good in that. And that's where he found salvation.
Really?
Yeah.
Are you sure he's saved?
I don't know. I mean,
He says he is.
Are you sure you're saved?
Yeah, I'm 100%.
I don't know.
Are you?
I don't know anymore.
You don't know anymore?
It depends on how I wake up.
Oh, Lord.
No.
So it's a little misleading, the gunpowder propaning Jesus, because I know me and Aaron cook on Rectex.
Yeah. Well, we cook on propane here.
Yeah.
Well, that's true.
So
yeah,
every Friday morning we do a men's devotional here at our shop. And that's kind of what fueled this and fueled the podcast. And so we do cook on propane here.
True.
But at home, we cook on pellet grills.
So if you're in the CSRA around Augusta, Georgia, every Friday morning, we do a little breakfast, do a little devotion, little conversation, and a little prayer. Come join us.
Well, now, can you explain what CSRA means? Because, I mean, when we get national famous, like...
So that is the Central Savannah River area that is located Augusta, North Augusta, Aiken, Burke County, Richmond County, Columbia County,
Barnwell,
McCormick, Edgefield. So anywhere near the Augusta, Georgia area, you know, where that big golf tournament is. I don't know if I can say it, but the Masters, the Augusta National.
And we're sued.
We're right down the road from there.
Canceled already.
No, we're not using it as a promotion. We're just using it as a reference.
Ooh, I bet
geographical reference.
I could design a new logo for us that has a flag right in the
No,
middle
I'm
of
out.
Georgia.
Nope.
I'm out. You will quickly get a letter from them, I promise.
Done.
Oh, my Lord.
So that's where we're at. If you're ever interested in coming by, reach out to us.
4275 Washington Road
Sweet
behind Artsy
C.
Me.
Sweet C.
Is it a C?
Yeah, it is.
I don't know.
This used to be Keg Creek Paddle
Board Shop.
Used to be
But
more
everybody
famously
knows
known
it
as
as.
Brown Feed and Seed.
There you go.
Yep. Brown Eye Feed and Seed.
Yeah.
Brown feed and seed. Every Friday morning, 7 a.m.
Yep. It's delicious. There's a guy that cooks grits. He's probably the best looking guy around.
There's a guy named John that will toot his horn at everything.
Yep.
Works
I will
grits.
say, other than this morning, his grits are always
Other
on
than
point.
this morning.
I
This
only
morning, they were dry
Yeah.
and hard as a brick.
Yeah.
He didn't put the blood and sweat into the pot this morning.
I only had one stick of real butter and I put too much grits in. I botched the amount, you know, trying to get it to that thickness, man.
For those of you that don't know John, he likes to go over and above on everything.
No, I just like flavor.
He tries to overthink too much.
Just so you guys know,
If you do
Aaron-
something one way and it works and everybody loves it,
Leave it alone.
don't change it.
Aaron, just so y'all know, Aaron could go to a 5-star Michelin restaurant and try to order chicken fingers.
That's not
Michelin
true.
restaurant.
I'm eating steak.
Yeah, they sell tires there.
Yeah.
That's a well done.
You got me. Why is it Michelin?
Is it Michelin or Michelin 5-star?
Michelin. It's Michelin.
It's whatever that rating is. It's
Michelin.
super fancy restaurants that if you got those Michelin or Michelin stars or whatever, then you're the best of the best.
They make bank. I love watching those shows where they go after those Michelin. I don't know.
Google it. You keep asking.
If somebody knows how to pronounce that correctly,
you would think our producer and researcher would pull that up on his phone.
Send us a message on Facebook.
Jordan's got a really interesting story for us today. I'm pretty sure he stayed up all night reading about it and looking at it. You know what I did here, man?
What?
I saw it on a TikTok video. It's Butterflies Are Ninjas. It's like two Christian dudes, whatever. But they said, you know how the floods in Texas hit July 4th?
Yeah.
July 1st. So that Texas area and all that surrounding area, like Alabama and all that, they have a really high lithium deposit that could basically change the market and fuel lithium production for the United States.
So is this a conspiracy theory?
Yeah, I think so.
Kind of like the North Carolina thing?
Kind of like the Hawaii, like the laser stuff and all that stuff. But the lithium deposits are what they call, the way they pull it out of the ground is it's called wastewater. They like push water in and it rises to the top. Well, the rights to that was owned by the landowners. July 1st, the legislation was passed to the mineral rights groups, and that's all the big oil companies. July 4th is when the floods hit. And I saw that. I was like, dude, that's a crazy theory.
Things that'll make you go,
And I'm like, those oil companies have enough money to do some crazy stuff. So
cloud seeding and all that.
I mean, think about it.
You can go down that rabbit hole a long way.
Yeah.
They wanted that mountain up there in North Carolina.
To get lithium. I thought it was like strip mining. You tear the land all up. I didn't know you forced water down into the earth.
Yeah, it's like some crazy process. It comes up through wastewater. It's lithium is like I don't know what kind of mineral it is, but it comes up through that. I don't know. But the video is really cool. I'll send it to you guys on our group text so y'all can get all conspiracy like.
I like conspiracies.
I think I'm part Nephilim.
You can't spell that.
By the way, it's Michelin.
N-Y.
Michelin? Like the tire?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
One less L, I think.
Yeah.
N-Y-M-P-H-O. Nympho.
Lord help me.
Off the rails again.
Listen, this is a Christian podcast, guys, and we are men. And there are sometimes you're going to hear some things
It's
that definitely shouldn't be said. And it's John Howard that always says it.
That is true. It is one person.
Look here.
And you would think that guy that has the edit button would fix all that.
Once y'all understand that we are all perfectly imperfect.
Well, I mean, Jesus knows what he made, but that don't mean we're not supposed to try.
We don't want to broadcast that.
Well, I'm just saying, man, I think you can touch people without touching people. I think you can, if you don't act so high and mighty sometimes, you can probably reach people that wouldn't get reached before, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, we're not high and mighty by no means. We like talking cut up, but there's a limit.
There is no limit.
Yes, there is.
No.
What if kids want to listen to this, John?
We're not a kids podcast, and kids
Why are we
too
not?
stupid.
God bless it.
I mean, I didn't say anything dirty. What did I say dirty?
You said kids were stupid. I love kids. I have kids. You have kids.
Well,
we
your
all
kids
have
are
kids.
cool. I don't like my kids.
You love your
They're
kids.
terrible. My oldest daughter, I can't even get her to empty a litter box.
That's terrible, John.
At least she doesn't use a litter box.
Shut up.
You got to win there, man. You got to look at the wins
kids out there that do that. Yeah,
you got to take the wins.
you got to take the wins when
she
you
ain't
can.
using it. She won't empty it, but she ain't using it. At least she goes to the toilet.
Everybody's like, get rid of the cat. I'm like, I love the little fat cat. That joker is huge.
Hey, that tree out the window just grew again.
Shut. What's that even mean?
So
I don't think we've been recording.
Oh God. Are you serious?
No, we are.
So
I'm
our
just joking.
producer, it takes him 45 minutes to get ready every day.
He has to walk 17 times back and forth to his car.
I was ready.
Then he has to go make a coffee.
I was trying
get
to
16 Cokes.
So
Get
I
his
made-
bottle of water. Get
so I
his
was-
dip.
I was trying to make the phone interview work.
So there was this little sprig of a pine tree somebody planted when we started recording our first podcast.
This video's already.
By the time we got done, it was 25 foot tall.
This joke is so old.
It's bearing fruit outside. That's for sure.
Barren.
So it's by the living waters. It's getting fed.
Yeah.
Oh my Lord! Is it Pickle and John podcast? Let's just change the name. Pickle and John.
We're talking
podcast.
about living waters, man.
So
that tree's getting fed.
POJ.
So
Pickle and John.
So we're gonna
Get
shift.
closer to your
We're
mic.
gonna shift gears here.
Try to talk in your mic, guys.
We're gonna shift gears here.
Yeah, put your mic in your mouth when you talk.
It's right there.
Thank you.
It tastes nasty. I just want to let you know that. Somebody sweated on it.
That's
Oh.
your microphone.
It's hot in here.
Hey, pull your cable up a little bit out of that hole.
Oh my Lord!
No, the other cable.
Would you stop?
There you go. I just want you to have some space.
I
Okay.
mean, what do I need space right there for?
I don't know. I'm a perfectionist, man. I'm
Okay.
sorry.
Well,
Them grits weren't perfection, huh?
yeah, we weren't going to go there, but you said it. So, anyways, we rented this building, I guess, 3 months ago now, Jordan.
Put your
It's
mouth
had to
in the
be
mic.
longer than that.
It may be 4 months ago.
You don't have to look at him. He can hear you.
Well, I like to look at people when I talk at them.
Well, you can't do that on
He
the
should have
podcast.
sat over there so I could look at him.
Nope, we're not changing now.
But anyways, when we rented this building, Jordan had the idea. Let's start a men's devotion for our guys at work.
Yeah.
Well, we included another group of contractors that we know that we go to lunch with on a regular basis, and
Which, by the way, they weren't here.
They
Today.
were not here today.
They're out of town today because they didn't go to
Okay.
Goolsby's
They're
yesterday.
forgiven.
But we started off with 12 guys, and then it went to 19. We invited a handful of other people, and then we just decided that, hey, this don't need to be just for us. Like let's do it for all men. So we decided to start cooking. We went and bought a grill, and we bought all the stuff to cook a good breakfast for guys that we'd like to eat a full hearty breakfast. We all got to go to work afterwards, and me and John had previously talked about doing a podcast.
I think since I got saved again, we rekindled our friendship.
Well, you didn't get saved again. You got born again.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because you never were saved the first time, apparently.
Yeah, I just did the process and
Going with the motions.
trying to work too hard. I was trying to, that old religious mentality, work harder, work harder, work harder, work
That's
harder.
right.
Nothing's ever good enough.
That's right.
And that
you had
sucks.
all works and no faith.
Yep.
But so we decided we're going to start a podcast, and we invited our buddy Bruce in with us. And
Well, actually, it was Jordan first. Bruce was a guest, and then he added himself to the lineup. I'm still not sure about that.
I don't know if you know this, but last week, apparently Bruce died. I don't know.
He wasn't here,
I feel
so-
it, man.
Oh, I got fired last week.
No,
That's
This
what
is
it
our
was.
I don't think you even got
First
fired,
podcast.
Bruce. I think he killed you.
When you hear the Stetson Safford episode, you got hit by a bus or something. You were going to get on your short yellow bus. You dropped your helmet in the road, and instead of stopping for the bus, you ran in front of it and you were killed.
So the real story is John dropped his helmet getting on the bus I drive. I got out to get his helmet.
I was here.
And he jumped behind the wheel
I
and
was
hit the gas
here,
pedal.
Bruce. I was here, Bruce. You were not. You got killed last week.
all I heard was R.I.P. Bruce Kernaghan. R.I.P. Bruce Kernaghan.
If you miss an episode and you're one of the hosts, you die that week.
So we're doing everything kind of a little backwards. This is going to be our first episode that you guys get to hear, and we've already filmed 3 or 4 of them, and we want
recorded.
Yeah. Somebody's filming, I'm sure. But we wanted to just kind of do an introductory podcast to be our first one, and just kind of give you a little backstory on how it all got started and what God's doing in this little, what we call a ministry. I mean, it started out as just a morning devotional, and now it's on a regular basis, we have between 40 and 50 men that come every Friday morning to eat breakfast and get a devotion. And
It's just growing, man.
yeah, it is. The Lord's really blessing it.
We did start a Gunpowder Propane and Jesus Men's Ministry Facebook page.
Yeah. So y'all join that.
That's where you're going to get most of the information.
We'll do a video every week, just inviting you to Friday mornings, and you might see a cameo acting duet in the background from time to time.
Yep.
Make sure you get on there, like, share, and follow.
That's right. The more people we reach for Jesus, the better off the world will be.
I think the best video was the one I broke that board over Jordan's back.
That was a good one. I did like
We
the
got
fake elevator.
Thousands of views on that.
Yeah, we had like almost 3,000 views on that.
Really?
awesome.
Where'd
Yeah.
y'all see that view? That count at?
If you go to the page and look at the original view in the bottom right hand corner, it'll tell you how many views it got.
Really?
Yeah.
I saw it said it had like 3. Maybe I'm looking at comments and shares. Maybe.
So we need y'all to like and share that video because if it gets to 1 million, we'll go viral.
Yeah.
We might get $1.50 in a paycheck or something.
Somebody might pay
Mark
for this
Zuckerberg's
podcast.
going to send us $1 and buy 3,000 more acres in Hawaii.
And if you're listening to this video and you own a business or
It's not a video.
in 28 states again.
Aaron's like, I'm on a video.
If you're listening to this podcast and you own a business or you run a large company and you want to help 4 broke guys out and sponsor us, we'd be willing to throw you a plug in there here and there.
Plug and plug.
So here's the thing. Aaron started this, his shop, him and Jordan. And then, like I say, we feed everybody breakfast every morning. So it's, we're doing eggs, bacon, sausage, biscuits, grits. It's a hearty breakfast. It's for men.
Yeah, it's delicious.
Nobody's ever asked to give a dime. It started people paying it out of their own pocket.
That's our
Aaron Jordan. And then a couple people have donated from time to time. But like I say, this is, doing this just to spread the Lord's work. So if you do feel led, first of all, come watch and see and be a part of what we're doing. But, help feed some of these folks.
Jordan, pull up that mission statement on the Facebook page,
and
the
just,
one that's pinned.
Just to add a little in there to what Bruce said, it's nothing formal. I mean, we're all in shorts and T-shirts. We all have to go to work when we leave this, so we show up in whatever. I've seen people come in here in pajamas. Z comes in about every other week in his pajamas, and
we've got people from 16 years old to 70 something years old.
Yeah.
Coming in here. So it's all age groups.
So if you don't think you're invited and you're a man, you're invited. It don't matter what your age is. We encourage guys to bring their kids. I know like summertime right now, kids are out of school. My son comes. There's been a couple other young kids come in. Kids need to see their dads making much of Jesus.
Mm-hmm.
If we don't set that example, they won't continue it.
It's a 90% return rate to church and salvation and all that stuff. When a man,
if the man gets saved and starts following Jesus, it's like a 90 or 95% that the rest of the family will follow. We try to not make it to be so churchy, and I know that sounds probably bad in some of your ears, but when I mean that, like a lot of people will not become a Christian because of religion and church.
Yeah,
and
liberalism.
Yeah, we don't want that. Yes, we believe the Bible. We believe in salvation. We believe Jesus died on the cross for our sins. We believe all that, but we as men, we don't need all that fancy stuff. We just come in this building is a shell of a building. It's nothing fancy. It's hot half the time. It's probably gonna be cold in winter. Just come in and get something from Jesus.
It's going to be great in winter. And it's not liberalism. It's legalism.
Yeah, legalism. Well, liberalism too. We don't like that either.
Oh, my Lord. Jordan looked at me like, yep, liberalism. I was like,
we just got canceled again.
It's not that.
But it's crazy. The group of people, such a wide variety of people. Because, there's people that come to this thing on Friday that have been to Bible college and could tell and quote more about scripture than I'll ever know. And then there's people some that have never graced the doors of a church, but they come here every morning. They eat breakfast, they fellowship with like people, and then they hear the word of God. So, it's from all areas of life, ages. As long as you're a man, I promise you'll get something out of it.
Hey, Jordan, you got that mission statement? We worked really hard on that.
You want me to read that?
That thing was beautiful, man. That came out good. That's our men's ministry Facebook page mission statement.
You want me to read that for you?
Read
it says, we gather to break bread and bear burdens, forging brotherhood through prayer, the truth of the gospel, and shared trials, in the fire of accountability and the mercy of grace. This is where mentorship meets manhood, forgiveness finds its voice, his truth ignites transformation, his calling forges character, and his forgiveness sets men free. This is where every field chair becomes a testimony that goes beyond the church walls and into the community.
Man, that was beautiful.
Amen.
Shout out to Microsoft Copilot. Man,
AI is awesome.
Yeah, it is. Did you hear about the AI, like where they like asked it questions and it was like they just asked the AI to give yes or no, and if it couldn't answer, to say Apple. And like one of them was like, the questions were like, is there what's behind AI? Like, is it demonic forces? And it answered Apple. I'm like, what? Like, are there aliens or demonic forces in this world? And it's like Apple. They couldn't answer. I'm like, what? No thanks.
I think AI is good for a lot of things, but I think it should have its limits on what it's used for as well. But one of the things in the mission statement that I wanted to touch on, it says, bear burdens and forge brotherhood.
Yeah.
I've gone through this class, and I know Bruce has it. John, have you gone through Better Man?
No, I'm not going to.
So as Better
I'm already
Man,
the best man. I'm starting my own class called Butterman.
Butterman, yeah, we eat soggy, not good grits.
With your Bible, I hand out a stick of butter.
But there's a in the class, it teaches us. Well, not it teaches us. You kind of just learn that there's other men out there struggling with the same things you are. And I know as a man, like I don't want to tell everybody my problems. I think I should keep them in and work through it, and got to be tough and, not let anybody know and just push through it. But that's not the case. And that's one thing that I've learned probably over the past 2 years since I started Better Man. And I've gone through the core class of it twice just because it was that good and I got so much out of it. And then a deeper Bible study and other things with it. But, one thing we say here on Friday mornings when we do our prayer is, hey, that's what God calls us to do, is bear each other's burdens.
Mm-hmm.
As men, it's hard to do that. But when you got a group of 30 or 40 guys pouring their heart out, and even like we heard the last 2 Wednesdays, people were uncomfortable saying those prayer requests, but we've already seen God answer them.
Mm-hmm.
That's right.
We can't pray if we don't know. That's what we're here for. God made us to be like-minded so we can strengthen each other. Iron sharpeneth iron is what they say.
Yeah.
So the bearing the burdens is the big one for me, because it's hard to do life alone.
Yeah.
If we got other people that are in the same boat as us, it's easier to row a boat when you got 30 men.
Mm-hmm.
If it's just you in a big boat by yourself, it's hard.
Yeah. I love hearing Bruce say, iron sharpens iron. Say it,
Iron
Bruce.
sharpens iron.
Yeah, he's got it. Iron. Iron sharpens iron.
It sounds normal to me.
We got a newlywed in the room, too.
Tell us about it, Jordan.
Newlywed, Jordan.
Congratulations. I
It's-
got you a bread maker that I got given for Christmas 7 years ago. Hope you enjoyed it.
John is the best regifter.
Mm-hmm.
what do you want to hear?
Get closer to your mic, first of all.
I hear myself very
You can hear
clearly.
yourself, but the board needs to pick
Okay.
you
You
up
got to
better.
have it right here.
You got to
You got to tickle in your nose
put
hairs.
your lip on it and just sit right
Is
there.
that good right there?
Yes, it's
Yeah.
actually good. It's a good support for your neck if you put your lip on it. It feels pretty good, doesn't it?
But yeah, it's a milestone I thought that I was never gonna actually, overcome. I always see myself being single forever, but
You're such a good dude, man. I can't believe you would see yourself as single forever.
well, maybe not single, but not married.
Mhm.
I was happy where I was.
What was the
Did you come from a broken home? Like your parents weren't together? You just didn't want to be married?
Well, my dad that I call dad, he's a stepdad, but he's been there my whole life,
Yeah.
and they're still together. Never seen them fight, argue, so no.
so
I come from a good home. I got lucky.
No.
What
Could've
was the
definitely been
holdup?
worse.
Like, you've got a good example for mom and dad. What was the holdup causing you saying, I know a lot of people say if it ain't broke, don't fix it, but
Yeah, pretty much. It's like, what's a piece of paper going to change?
yeah.
It was literally my opinion, Like, if you love me, I love you. We're going to be here. I don't need a piece of paper to tell you.
Yeah.
And that was just kind of my thought on that. But obviously, women see it a little bit different.
Yeah.
So
I like to think of it as biblical conviction. Since you got involved with this.
could have been a lot
with
of that
all
because
this.
I've been doing some growing.
Yeah.
That's for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've not heard him get on people as much since he started Bible study and reading the Bible a little more.
In what type of way?
I'm just saying, like,
I feel
can
like
see
I'm still out there getting on them.
well, you are, but there's a
A different manner in which you do it.
yeah, like Jordan a year ago would have just walked on a job site and cussed everybody and
dropping bombs.
tell them y'all ain't but a bunch of losers and this and that, to where I watched him walk on a job site last week and tell one of the guys, he's like, hey, before we go into this, I just want to tell you that I love you.
Yeah.
And I don't anything else after this, just know I love you. You know, he made it real clear.
So that's a whole new person.
Just so y'all know, Jordan is the hardworking half of Clark Home Services. Shout out Clark Home Services.
Tired of it.
That business owner is not gonna sponsor us.
He don't do nothing.
That guy's a loser.
He don't sponsor nothing.
That guy is tapped out.
No, I did see. I did see Aaron like moving some cabinets the other day.
Yeah,
Jordan had to yell at him.
Don't give himself enough credit.
Yeah, Aaron's
Neither
hardworking.
does anybody else.
I don't do as much as the other guys do.
You're the
but
busiest man I know.
I will say that I know that I do what I'm supposed to, because if I didn't, nobody would be getting paid on Fridays.
I know that's real.
But, you know, I've known Jordan for a long time. We played a lot of ball together over the past probably 10, 12, 13 years. And just, it's exciting to me because me and Jordan have always talked about God and church, and I never could get him to come. I invited him last year to the men's outdoor thing, and he stayed for about 45 minutes and said, I got to run in my truck. And I never seen him again until work Monday.
He checked out before the preaching started.
Yeah. He listened to the, the comedian.
I listened to
And then he ate. He
the
did eat.
comedian was good, man.
He
I like
was
the comedian.
Who
was that? There wasn't anyone after
Dennis Swanberger. No, it was CT after that.
that. I don't remember CT preaching at all.
Oh, yeah. I do. He does it every year.
Oh, man. I'm not
He's
coming this year.
He's a sorry guy. We're not going to listen to him.
We got some professional fishermen this year.
Hank Parker.
Hank Parker.
Yeah. Here's a plug for Victory Baptist Church. August the 16th, outdoor extravaganza. Go to victorybc.com and order your ticket. You better hurry because they're selling out quick.
For some reason, I
Tons
thought they
of
were
guns.
$75 each. They're only
No,
25.
No, they're 25.
Yeah.
And you get a man-sized meal.
Yeah, it's a half a chicken that you're going to get.
And
Plus,
with sides,
plus
dessert.
they'll have some gator. They said they're going to have more gators than one this year.
Yeah.
And chicken bog.
Chicken
that was
bog
the best thing.
So where it's at.
Oh, my Lord. When, not Stetson Safford. Stetson Ramon.
S&S.
Man, that chicken bog was good.
Chicken
man.
bog is good. The first time I ate it, we were doing a little men's retreat down in Swainsboro.
Hold on, let's get back to the important part of the extravaganza, though.
Yeah, so
They're giving away guns and ammo and
yeah, we went
bows
down
and
that
arrows
rabbit hole
and-
quick.
Yeah.
But hey, I mean, it coincides with the gunpowder, propane, and Jesus. They're giving away guns.
Amen.
They're giving away grills,
Yeah.
and there's going to be plenty of Jesus there.
Maybe we
Amen.
need to see if we can get set up in a room and do some.
We could do a couple guest interviews.
Yeah, that'd be great. Just like quick ones. real
Yeah, like
quick.
quick 5-minute. Hey, come in here. Let's set this up. And
That'd be cool.
Well, we know we're not setting nothing up quick.
well, John will have to be
Amen to
John.
that.
John will have to be there
All
on
right.
Thursday to
John
get
can
set
go
up.
over there when we get done today.
I'll just go get it set up right now.
By the way, today is August the 1st.
Well, he did just get a tent for me, so he can pack it up over there at the church and live there for the next 2 weeks.
I'll just stay there.
But I'm serious, guys. If you're interested, I mean, I know we're only, this will be released the day before,
Yeah.
but
So the two people that
the
will
two people
to
that
it,
listen,
y'all should go.
I mean, they give away more guns than I've seen anywhere outside of a NWTF banquet.
You just
Yeah.
can't be a felon to get the gun. I don't think.
you will have to be
Correct.
able to
You gotta
pass
pass
a
a
background.
background.
No gun for you, buddy.
You have to pass
Hey,
background.
just because Jordan has a nose ring don't mean he's a felon. Jeez.
Jordan put his ankle
You would
monitor
be
on his dog.
surprised.
Jordan's ankle monitor is at home on his dog right now.
He's got both his back legs strapped together.
This
Jordan,
nose
why-
ring will fool you.
But we'll get back to with Jordan. So I met Jordan
Hey, you
through
ain't the
Aaron.
leader here, Bruce.
Hold
We're
on.
still talking about you.
I came back.
He came back from the dead.
No, that's a joke. I didn't.
Bruce Lazarus Kernaghan.
I am not.
That'll make more sense about 5 podcasts from now.
Bruce, come forth.
But I met Jordan through Aaron actually playing ball and just, and we cut up on the ball field and we talk at these morning devotions that we have and with the podcast and stuff. And just the little bit I'm involved with, I've seen a lot of growth myself. I mean that wholeheartedly. And I think it spreads with the work crew too.
Well,
y'all got some good guys and they're growing big time.
I met Jordan through the military on Day Z. We've been through some rough battlefields.
We've been through
That's
some
a video game.
matches.
We've been through some rough battlefields. Remember that mountain we climbed? This
Yeah,
little
we've
special
climbed
needs
some
kid?
mountains together.
Yeah. That was, we've been through it, Jordan. I knew the first time I saw his face in real life, he was the greatest man I've ever met.
They go way back to the Sega Genesis.
Yep. I don't even think there was online play then. Oh, my Lord.
And John over here, he is our not tech savvy producer.
He's our target. He's our pin cushion.
John can do anything media wise, and I've seen him do
Anything.
some really incredible stuff. But for some reason, this podcast is giving him a run for his money.
It is not. I got the board down, man.
He feels pressure from all of us.
Yeah, I don't like the pressure, man.
I will say that it didn't take an hour and a half today. It only took about 30 minutes.
Yeah, I only had to drive
It
all the
didn't
way
even
around
take
town.
30 minutes. I had it up and running. Y'all weren't here. He wasn't here.
That goes back to that thing where you're
I
trying
had
to do
to-
too much.
No, I had to find the recording.
Yeah, you don't have
I was trying to do
you don't have your laptop in here.
I know. I didn't want to break
You
it
need
out.
to do you would have just got a golf clap from the sound
Yeah.
simulator
Y'all
because
just
we were
mean.
giving you praise.
Y'all walk
And you
around.
missed the
I'm in
opportunity.
here in this hot room.
Man, this thing
with
has two air conditioners. This is the coolest place in the building.
I know, man. Good Lord. But yeah, I just this board is a whole new field for me. So the first couple times we tried to record, it was a learning experience.
The best podcast we ever had was never recorded.
I know. I thought it was a cable, but it was a board operator issue.
There's a short between the seat and the board.
Short in the cable.
Yeah, that was definitely the best podcast.
I don't believe it because I wasn't here.
I
to
don't
hear
know
it.
what's going on with my voice, guys. I feel like I'm losing it. Did you just hear it cut out just then?
No, it sounds fine.
Is that the
Well,
woman coming out in you?
Might be. I don't know.
Hi, my name's Aaron.
Okay.
Okay, guys. So we had old Keith
So-
Finch.
Yeah, we had Keith Finch this morning. He did a good job. He
Keith
went
Finch.
a little longer than he was supposed to, but he did good. I think he wrapped
I
it up
think he
nicely.
got a good word. Yeah.
Yeah, it was
Yeah,
nice.
He brought it, and I think it kind of hit.
I love listening to Keith. He breaks it down, and especially with the illustration about me going through the line with him with his plate. I
Yeah.
think that's when a lot of guys
It clicked.
it clicked on a lot of guys, and they were like, "Okay, we need to listen to this guy," because I could see some of them. I could see the gear shifting then.
Right.
Yeah.
But he's just he's a very smart guy, and I'm telling you, anytime he is one of my mentors, spiritually and business wise. I'll call him, and he's always got an answer. You know, he's always got an example or a situation that he's been through that especially with business.
Right.
I've called him a handful of times over the past year, and said, "Hey man, I'm having this issue right here. What have you ever seen this, or have you ever?" And he'd give me an example in a situation he went through, and just kind of help guide me through it. He's just an awesome guy, man. He's
and he always relates it to scripture.
always.
So knowledgeable.
Yeah.
I got to sit in a couple of his Genesis classes that he was doing in college, and he's a great teacher,
Well,
man.
one thing about Keith is when he commits himself to doing something, he gives it 110% every
Absolutely.
time. And if he don't know it, he's going to dig and study and study and study to where he knows it better than anybody else around him, just
Yeah.
about.
And his wife is like a scripture knowledge base.
Oh
She,
yeah, Miss Terry. Yep.
she can quote anything, man.
Yep.
When she memorizes a scripture, she knows it.
Yep.
It's crazy. I wish Bruce loved the Lord.
I do love him. I'm just trying to learn.
That's right.
But back to Keith, he was talking this morning about, the living water and living and growing and showing fruit, and the fruit's not always for you. The tree doesn't bear the fruit for itself. It bears it for somebody else. And then he gave the example. He says, okay, if I'm going to go through this line to eat like we do every morning, hey, Aaron, come fix my plate. Hey, Aaron, come feed me.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
You got to get in the word and do it for yourself.
Mhm.
You can't depend on somebody else.
yeah, you can't depend on your pastor on Sunday and
Right.
worship leader on Wednesday night to feed everything you got. You got to get the other 5 days. You got to put it in.
Right.
You know, I thought about with the fruits of the fruits he was talking about is, people come along, pick those fruits. But what I was thinking is when that fruit falls off the tree and it dies, those nutrients go into the soil. And when that tree's long gone, that soil's still right.
That's right. It's just, generational.
Mm-hmm.
If you pour into your kids, what I think Edward preached on it. It was out of Proverbs. I can't remember the verse, but it talks about our
Proverbs
kids,
2, if I remember correctly.
Our kids will see
Right.
the fruit of our.
Right. So what am I doing for my kids and my grandkids? Yeah.
We won't see the fruit here, but when we pass and we go,
Right.
our kids will see our fruit. They'll be in our spoils, or not our spoils, but our spoils, our
Right.
riches. Whatever we do now, we're doing for them. And back to the Friday morning thing, anybody listening, if you want to come give a 10-minute devotion, I'm running out of friends to call. So if you know your Bible and you believe in Jesus and you want to be an encouragement to a group of 40 or 50 men on a Friday morning, reach out. You can message us on the gunpowder, propane, and lead. Jesus. Yeah, I can't get nothing right today.
Gunpowder, propane, and Jesus.
Men's ministry page,
Yeah.
Facebook.
There you go.
Yeah.
Yep. We'd love to have you. I mean, we're going to do it every Friday, and we're going to keep going until God tells us to stop. We feel like He's told us to start it. We feel like He's got His anointing on it, and
This morning I felt like he was telling me to stop.
telling you to stop
Yeah,
because you woke up late.
Oh my Lord! No, I got up at 5, but I just couldn't get out the door, man. I was like, and then you were blowing me up when I had my hand full trying to
Because
get
I
in
thought
the
you were
car.
asleep.
No,
Because I looked at your location. You were still at home.
But if you ever have a doubt, you heard
I'm
this morning.
sharing my location.
You heard this morning from a guy that's been here and talking about praying for his dad and praying for his daughter, and the results of corporate prayer. It struggles with his dad and his dad's health and the issues he's in, and then his daughter had some neurological stuff, and then they went to another doctor, and that doctor's like, I don't even know why they told you that, because there's no sign of it whatsoever. So you're seeing changes being made,
Mhm.
and just setting that belief in concrete in some of these people.
Yep.
Speaking of Gus, he'd be a good one to get in here as a
Yeah,
guest too.
I told him that.
He's really so. When I was still working for myself, Gus was one of the last people to work for me, and it was kind of a stretch for me because he was in the rehab, and I knew, I was going to have to be picking him up and dealing with God knows what, and I grew a lot just meeting Gus and, hearing his story and
Watching him
and knowing like this is where he came from and this is who he's being and this is who he's striving out to be, and seeing him now versus where he was when we met, it's just like, wow, he's doing something right. And
Yeah.
He'd be a good one to have in here one week.
It's
I didn't know you were in rehab.
I was not.
Oh,
he said Gus was.
when he met Gus.
Oh,
Gus was
gotcha.
in rehab.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like Gus a lot.
One of the other guys reached out to me from the rehab and was like, hey, I got somebody that needs a job.
When are you going into rehab?
Well, he just got married.
For that
so.
DayZ addiction.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's fast.
But on a serious note, we talk about rehab. We've got a couple guys that work for us that have been through rehab and are still in the programs. There's two that I know of really good programs here in town. One is Game Changers.
Yep.
They're really good.
They're men's focus.
Yeah, men's focus.
Adam
Sellers is the director over that, and then you have 143 Ministries,
Yep.
which has a men's and a women's. And Clifton Nobles, who did our devotion for us one morning, he is the director over that. And if you're out there struggling and you don't know who to call one of us. Reach out to us on the Facebook page.
Yep.
We'll get you in contact with one of those guys. They're both awesome, and I have seen products out of both of them. My sister and my brother-in-law were products of them, and it works. They're a God-driven based rehab.
Yeah.
You know.
And you know what? recovery isn't just for addicts, man.
That's right.
I'm telling you, we got 180 up at the church on Monday night, 6:30 p.m. Man, you know, everybody has a void. You know what I mean?
100%.
It could be eating, it could be shopping, it could be looking at porn, it could be anything. You know, people pleasing is a void or addiction. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And man, we're going through the steps right now. You know, AA steps. You know, people are like, "Oh, I'm not an alcoholic." I mean, they're basic discipleship programs. You know what I mean? Step one is realizing you're powerless and you have unmanageability, and the only way to do that is to surrender that to God. And then, you know, 3, 4 is finding your resentments. You know, stuff you've held on to as, you know, since you were a kid. The way your parents treated you, you know, the way people treated you, all that goes into your subconscious. It becomes lies and stuff like that. And we're doing fears next week, and then harms, and then, you know, basically doing recovery discipleship steps, you know.
Yeah.
For the layman.
There's a lot of good programs in the area that if you're having trouble, we can get you connected.
Yeah.
It's, you know, you're going to hear us talk a lot about Victory because 3 out of 4 of us go there and attend there. But that don't mean you have to be a member at Victory to come participate in this stuff.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
We want everybody to come. We open the door to everybody. But there are, you know, if you don't feel comfortable on a larger scale like that, there are some other programs that we can get you connected to help out. And that's not just recovery based. That's if you want to get in small groups, or if you want to get involved in, you know, obviously this is a men's ministry. If you want to get involved here, let us know. We cook every Friday morning at 6:00. Come help.
Yep.
Come stand around and fellowship with us. That's a ministry in itself, is just getting men together and fellowshipping, you know, like-minded people, people that are facing the same struggles as you and deal with the same daily battles as you, here to uplift each other, you know?
Mm-hmm.
I know there's times where I'm having a bad day, and, you know, I may not can get to a group of men, but I can call Jordan, or me and Jordan can be riding the truck together, and he just encouraged me, you know? And I know he think he may not do it, but he does. I mean, there's days where I'm struggling. You know, I call him like, Jordan, I'm ready to shut it all down.
Yeah.
And he'll be like, no, brethren, it's okay.
So
we're going to get through it.
So you said that. Let's go back. So a couple of weeks ago, we were at Rise.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh,
go over that conversation and what Jordan's reaction was the next day.
Yeah. So it was just a day where he called me and he was ready to just give up and quit. And then we prayed before we got off the phone, and I know Bruce prayed about it at Arise. I prayed about it. I'm sure Jordan prayed about it, and I had talked to Keith and got some mentorship from him, and it wasn't nothing between me and Jordan. It was just life and workers and business and customers, and you know, he's getting ready to get married, and that's a not, I ain't gonna say a struggle, but like
it's a heavy weight,
like you just heard him say, like it ain't broke, don't fix it, you know. And with any big relationship changes, that comes a struggle, and that becomes a burden on you. And with everything else in life, and that week at work, I left him with 3 guys here working. It was terrible. I feel terrible for him. But the very next day, he was like, "Man, I don't know what y'all prayed, or much y'all prayed yesterday." He was like, "But the Lord just turned everything around today. Everything's going great," you know. But see, I was there to kind of encourage him, and on days when I'm going through it, he encourages me. And much like John or Bruce, if I can call either one of them, just surrounding yourself with other men. And that's one thing, what this ministry, this podcast, this devotion is not so much going in and getting a word from God, which that is the main thing, because we all need a word from God.
Quintessential.
Yeah. Surrounding ourselves with like-minded men who are not going to tear us down as soon as we turn our back.
Know our struggles.
Who are going to lift us up.
Yeah.
I mean, the first week we opened it up, there was a guy in here that was talking about he had been sober a year and was just getting his kids back for 24 hours at a week or every other week. And you know, he just poured his heart out to us and asked us some advice and asked some questions. And, you know, I'm not the perfect dad by no means. Like, I strive to be, but I have a lot of failures in being a father.
Yeah.
Just like I'm sure everybody does. But when you have 15 other men that are fathers, giving each one of them's advice, and the next, I think it was 2 weeks later, he come back. He was like, man, I had my kids last weekend. It was the best time I've ever had with them.
Oh,
that's awesome.
So, I mean, it's that sense of having people around you to build you up and not tear you down. That's what we're trying to build is just a community of men. And I think the more it gets out and the more we spread it and the more we pour into men, I think we're going to see a huge change in our city,
our circle,
little circle city, and community around here, because there's guys in here on Friday morning from every walk of life. I mean, nobody is cut from the same cloth.
Right.
We're all different. There's business owners, there's laborers, there's people that don't have a job, there's people that
still in rehab.
I mean, but not one person gets up there and takes all the glory and talks the whole time. It's everybody pours into everybody. One thing I tell people is you can't pour into somebody unless you're getting poured into. Because if all you're doing is pouring, eventually your pitcher is going to be empty.
That's right. So, and something else, like I said, there's a wide variety of age groups in this. He had mentioned Victory Baptist Church, and like I say, we can connect you somewhere else if you don't want to be there. That's just where the three out of the four of us are. But me and Aaron both help with the young adults, and something that spanned off from this is the young adults are now doing their own Bible study or devotion on their own on a different time. They go different places, so it's all around the CSRA, around our area where we live, and they're inviting people that they don't even know to come to this thing. They did one at Lady A out there in Evans, and just had an awesome group show up.
30 people, 30 young guys.
Yeah, these are young. When I say
all
young,
under the age of 28.
Yeah, 18 to 28. I mean, they're showing up. They're breaking bread. They're sharing burdens. The word is getting out, and that's what they're doing. And they just felt so compelled by what's going on that they're doing their own thing. And that's awesome, because everybody out here that's listening and everybody that comes on Friday mornings, you can reach somebody that nobody else can reach.
Yeah.
Right. So I think, and I forget exactly what the quote was. Somebody said, if everyone would reach one.
Yeah.
Each one reach one.
Each one
teach
reach one.
or something like that.
Yeah. So, I mean, that's our job. That's what we're supposed to do.
Yeah.
Share the gospel of Jesus Christ.
And they invited me to come Tuesday night, those young guys. And I was scared as being a leader with them in the young adults and kind of leading here a little bit, that they would ask me to talk. But dude, it encouraged me, super encouraging to be able to just sit there and listen to them lead it, and listen to one young person get up and teach the class. And then I don't think there wasn't a young guy, and I think there was probably 25 of them there Tuesday night that didn't speak afterwards and showed what they got from the weekly study that week. It was pretty cool to see, man, because
that's awesome.
I like I've told everybody before, I grew up in church. I was raised in a Christian home from the time I was 9 years old until I hit 18, and I ran wide open from God and lived in the world, and nobody I hung around that was in that age group was going to church and doing right. We were all
doing the same things
every night, chasing women, drinking, drugs, doing things we had no business doing. But to go on a Tuesday night where I could tell you right now where I was at on a Tuesday night at 21, 22, 23 years old, we when I was that age, we had a place we went every night that had a drink special.
Yep.
And we would be there like it was our job to be there. And to see these guys on a Tuesday night when nobody's forcing them, when nobody's saying, hey, y'all need to do this, they have done it on their own to reach, like you said, people they don't even know, they just invite.
Yep.
And I've seen a couple kids that I've never seen before that just showed up and they didn't know anybody. To me, it was encouraging.
That's awesome.
So with saying that, that's fruit of the tree that we've planted.
Right.
With this devotion, I believe God told us to do something. We took a step forward, and now things are spawning off of it. And that's awesome. That's what I want. That's my. They say if your dreams aren't big, or they say if your dreams don't scare you, they're not big enough. That is like we're getting to see part of it.
Right.
That's pretty cool to me. John, are you Googling something cool over there?
No.
Shortest answer ever.
And guys, this first podcast, this is kind of just off the cuff. We just wanted to kind of get in here and just introduce it to you and kind of tell you a little bit about what God's doing here and what we're doing in this ministry. And, you know, some of the other ones will be a little more organized, and you'll hear some special guests on here. And we kind of did a little backwards. We've already, like I said earlier, we filmed or recorded. Sorry, John.
We got to get a camera in here.
5 or 6 episodes. That's the Lord speaking through me.
Yeah, we got to get a camera.
We need to video it. But
No thanks.
5 or 6 episodes, and
I'm already getting my cojones chopped about the board. I'm definitely not setting up a camera.
Yeah.
It'll be 2 hours till we get started.
We tried filming the devotion. You see how that went the first 5 times.
I don't know. For some reason, there's an issue with the DJI mics that I paid for, not recording on Facebook Live. So, you know, I told Aaron we're going to just start. Daggum, Aaron.
See, maybe you got the mics. Did you pay for the permission to use them?
Yeah.
Oh.
The little recorder box that plugged into it does not record into Facebook Live. Like Facebook Live doesn't pick it up as a microphone source.
So we also call John Timu Tom.
Nope. my DJI mics cost me like $400. So shut up, Bruce. But and you know, thinking about it, we probably shouldn't do Facebook Live. They only last for 30 days. Whereas videos you post stay on the page. And then Facebook Lives, like say, you know, someone walks in and just starts, this is blah, 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 cussing or something crazy.
That'll stop immediately. I can promise you that.
Yeah, but we can't edit that on a Facebook Live. You may punch them in the face, but then we got, you know, Facebook Live, we got, you know, eyewitness account of you beating some crackhead. So, you know, we can at least, you know, if they do that on a recorded video, I can edit it out and save you some time from going to prison. So I'm just looking out for you, Bruce. But
no, I'm not beating them up. They'll just stop. I promise.
So Bruce, give us your background, man. What do you do?
Oof.
How was did you grow up in a broken home? Like, what do your parents do? What high school did you go to? Like, give us some info.
No, I was.
Where'd you meet your beautiful wife? That's what I want to know.
Yeah, that's what everybody wants to know. I'm not relinquishing that secret.
You kept her in your basement for 3 years.
she might not.
You're gonna love me, girl.
She's pretty smart, but she's dumb somewhere because she stuck with me for all these years.
Oh Lord!
But no, I grew up right here in Columbia County where we're at.
Heck yeah!
Moved out here when I was in the 3rd grade. Went to Bel Air Elementary, Evans Elementary, Evans Middle School, Evans High School.
Nice.
I grew up in a good home. My parents were together, but it was just, you know, I got whipped when I needed to get whipped, and I probably got away with some that I should have got. But you know, I thought
was your home religious?
We went to church. It wasn't every Sunday, but you know, it was in spurts.
Yeah.
But I was raised in church. I went to church with my grandma some. Went to church with my parents some. You know, I got 16, almost 17, and it was, you know, you live in my house, you're going to live by my rules. And I was like, well, I'll show you. I won't live here. So I moved out shortly before 17. You automatically know that goes down the wrong road.
Can relate.
And there was a friend of mine that drove a wrecker that had a garage. I said, hey, man, can I use your power if I build me a little apartment above that garage? He said, yeah. He said, you build it out. And I forget what the dollar amount was that I had to pay him, but I would pick up particle board from here and there and separated the roof of his garage or the attic of his garage into separate rooms. And that's where I stayed for a while because I couldn't afford nothing else. You know, nightclubs, whatever, drinking, doing this, doing that, down the wrong road. But, you know, luckily the Lord saw fit for me to be saved. You know, and then one of my youngest, he's 25. He just turned 25 in July 20th. And he's part of that young adult group. And for me to just sit back and know where I was at, 20, 21, 22, 23, and to see where he's at. Because, man, I was so scared to have a little boy because everybody growing up, you're going to have a little boy and he's going to be just like you. And I prayed, Lord, please do not let him be nothing like me. And thank God he's not. He likes to cut up like I do, but he is nothing like I was. And I'm so thankful for that.
I know that's real.
He's a good kid. He's a little wild and crazy, but he's good with it.
He's wild and crazy on the fun side,
That's
not
right.
the stupid
Yeah.
side like I was.
The fun side for sure.
His
Yeah.
name's Austin.
Yeah.
Barbara
Austin.
Kernaghan.
Yeah.
Sweet kid.
Austin Key. His nickname's Punk. Some people call him AK, but
AK.
I got 2 good kids. I got some grandkids.
Bruce
So-
got about 50, 11 grandkids.
I got 4. I'm
Really?
the old guy in the room. Don't
How many-
look at me like that,
how
John.
many kids you got?
Shut your mouth.
How old are you?
Don't ask no questions like
Are
that.
you older than 46?
Yes.
You
I'm
don't
in my
look,
early 50s.
you don't look a day over 7,000. 700.
You ought to see these quadfocals John's got on looking at me
Methuselah.
at.
Methuselah over here. So when you accept Christ, how old were you?
Oh, man, I was early. Well, let's see here. Well, I'll put it to you like this. When me and my wife started dating, she said, I'm going to go ahead and tell you straight out. If we're going to date, if we're going to be anything, you're going to church.
Really?
Yeah.
And you were, but before that, you were like, it's whatever.
Yeah, I was like, whatever.
Yeah.
So we started going to church.
Now, were you saved before all this, or you were just kind of
As a kid, yeah.
Okay, gotcha.
As saved as you can be as a kid. You know, everybody's got their opinions on that stuff, whatever. But yeah, I was saved
Well,
as
the
a
Bible says, come to him as childlike
Childlike.
faith.
right. So I guess you'd say rededicated in my later years, but man, I am blessed beyond what I deserve by far. There's been several situations where I should not be here.
Amen to that.
So there's a reason. And I'm just trying to do the best I can as a man, make mistakes, admit to them, repent, and ask the Lord for guidance.
Yep.
That's all we can do nowadays.
Yep. John, tell us a little bit about you and how.
Well, was Bruce done?
I think so.
Yeah. And
I think
you work for Kirk Pool
Right
and
now, I
Herb?
work for Kirk's Pool. Yeah, I grew up in the collision industry. I was doing that for over 30 years, and then things happened, and now I'm working for Ken Kirk's Pool in Greenwood.
That's why your face looks like that. You've been in a lot of collisions, huh?
Yeah, I've been in a bunch of wrecks. But yeah, we put in pools all the way from North Carolina down to the Florida line. So
And that Ken Kirk, he's a great dude. We're going to have him on this podcast at some point.
No, we're not.
he's got a good story.
no, we're
Yeah.
not.
I'm
Yes,
just
we
kidding.
are. Yeah, we are.
We are. But,
He's very open about his life.
Ken's another guy that that I can call anytime and ask him for a little advice, and he does me the same thing, vice versa. And I'm like, Ken, you're way more experienced than me, buddy. You know more than I do.
was Ken in the military?
No,
But he did that military
well,
man training thing.
It's basically what they call a hell week,
Yeah.
and it's basically what kind of wash yourself out. Where's your weaknesses? Where's your strengths? Here's how to become a man.
It was like Spartan week or something
I
like
don't
that.
even
yeah.
want to. I can't remember the name of it.
Like
get it
Man of
from-
War or something like
Man
that.
of
Man of
War,
War. That's
yeah,
it.
yeah.
Man of War.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm definitely not volunteering myself to go to that.
But yeah, I mean, he was later in life when he did that. I mean, he's because he ain't but a couple years older than I am. I think he's 55.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But he did that later in life, so that was a challenge there already. But it helped him.
So I met John when I was in 6th grade, and he saved my life.
Yes.
We're not going to talk about it on air, though.
Well, let's
Why
talk
not?
about it.
Let's talk
Why?
about
You
it.
brought it up. You talking
The
about saving your
family
life?
just
Well,
brought it up.
we're
That
not
was,
going to use no names. How about that?
Okay. We'll
So
we'll
we were
make
at
up
teen
names.
camp. No, we're not going to make up names. We're just
Zane
no.
Barton. Randy Smollard.
No, so we're at teen camp, and they have these what they call bungalows. It was just a cabin. It
Right.
was just a little dorm. It
Were
was
we in a bungalow or weren't we over the gym that year?
no, we wasn't in the gym that year. We were
Okay.
in one little bungalow. So when
It
you
was,
walk in,
I
There
think
was-
this story is going to get distorted.
New Man of Bible Camp or something like that.
it was New Manna. I
Yeah,
do remember
it was
that.
New Manna.
So we were in North Carolina in a mountain. It was literally on the side of a mountain,
It
and
was
then they had this
beautiful. Big old
big lake. It was
Oh,
awesome.
man.
I think a guy jumped a motorcycle across the lake, or either a bus. It was something
Evil Knievel.
So Danny Castle was the youth pastor, New Man, or the pastor or
I don't
something.
know how you remember that. I barely remember yesterday.
Well, his daughter was dating a professional motocross racer. And he told him, he's like, look, you date my daughter, you got to give that mess up. And the guy did. I mean, but he still raced some here and there. And he still, but I remember that. That was the coolest thing all week. I remember he jumped a bus or the lake or something, but it was pretty bad.
Rest in peace. He didn't make it over that jump.
Yes, he did. The guy, we were like, eyes with this guy.
John wants to be the last man standing, obviously.
I got a dark side.
So anyways, they had the mess hall and then they had each cabin. And when you walk into a cabin, there was 4 bunk beds.
We got to preface something, though.
What?
All the kids that were doing this stuff were all leadership kids. They were pastor kids. They were principal kids. So, and they get whatever, they get to do whatever they want.
And
so
now, mind you, this was the early mid 90s. So I guess you could still do stuff like that and it was okay.
I don't think it was.
I graduated in 91, so now I feel old.
Yeah, I don't think it was. I remember it was not okay.
Anyway, it definitely wasn't okay to me. I was in 6th grade.
This was his first teen
camp experience ever.
Yeah.
I walk into this door and I've got my book bag and my suitcase in my hand. And I look and there's 4 or 5
of these
17-year-old teenagers that are standing there butt naked. And I was like, what in the world did I just walk into?
Like they were 80-year-old men at a gym.
Like when you go to the Y and you get out the shower and there's 70 old men standing there with their stuff out.
Tallywhackers.
Yeah. So I walk in, I'm like, oh my God. And I look up. Now, if for y'all that don't know John, he's not a small guy.
I'm a big dude.
But John is on the top bunk and he is fully clothed. And I looked up and I said, I'm sleeping in the bunk with you.
I don't know why I took the top bunk. That was dangerous for you.
So whoever was below us, I felt for.
You just wanted to sleep with somebody that had clothes on.
Yeah, I knew that I wasn't going to be with any of those guys.
Aaron just wanted to be the little spoon.
No, definitely not. I just wanted
the rails.
Did we bunk in the same bunk?
Y'all were sharing the same bed?
There was 2 guys in each bed. I mean, because there was so many kids in this camp.
They were like
now they wasn't like
beds.
they wasn't twin size. Let me rephrase. They wasn't twin size. They were like queen size bunk beds.
I was laying down. Aaron slept on top of me like a cat.
So
edit around his home.
John, is that where it started?
Our love for each other? Yeah. That's where it all began.
No. So fast forward, like I didn't see John when I left school, and he left school for a lot of years because, like I said, I ran from God, and he had his wife and family, and I don't think he was living quite the way he should. But here in the past, 2 years?
No, June 25th last year.
Yeah. So
yeah,
John started coming back to church, and I reminded him of that story, and he was like, "Oh my God, I didn't even remember that."
I completely forgot I saved your life.
Yeah, you saved my life.
And these were teenage boys that you like looked up to. You were supposed to look up to. I'm like, why are they walking around butt naked? This is stupid. I remember they would go swimming at night and they get butt naked.
I don't remember that. I never went swimming at night.
Yeah.
I think I was scarred enough. I just want to stay as far away as I could until I had to go to bed.
I only got butt naked swimming because I liked how the fish tickled.
That sounds a little more realistic than just hanging out in the room.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was an interesting story.
So that's how I met John, and that's how, I always liked John growing up. He's always been a funny guy. He wasn't quite as perverted back then, I will say.
I don't think I'm perverted now.
Oh, yeah.
Could be way worse.
That's what you get for thinking and thoughting when you're not used to it.
Trust me. Trust me. I can get way worse if y'all want me to. But I'm going to reserve myself on this podcast.
Yeah.
I didn't even say nothing bad. I just said I can get way worse. And y'all are like, that's way worse already. No, it's not. Trust me.
So I ran into John one day at church about a year ago. Well, a little over a year ago. And
our love rekindled.
Yep. And he told me the struggles he was going through, and he won't leave me alone since. I don't know what his problem is.
So tired of you.
Just kidding.
I don't know how
you had some koi fish or something in the pond.
I don't know how to delete your number out of my phone.
It wasn't long after that I got to go on with him on a Bryson City trip camping. And
I went to a Rise
Yeah, that's right. You went to a rise.
Yeah,
Yep.
that week. That was nice. Josh's last rise.
Yep. And I
wouldn't
saved you from riding the bus the whole way.
You better still
yeah.
be thanking him for that one.
Man, I got to ride in your dad's truck. That thing was nice. That bright yellow.
That old mustard looking thing.
Yeah, that thing was fun. We had a good time.
Yep. And,
Anything beats that bus.
And then Bryson City. Went to Cherokee, North Carolina. Harris.
Went to the casino.
That was the first time I ever seen or heard of you, John.
Bryson City.
Funny
you got
side
that picture?
note. Funny side note. You were half naked.
You got my picture in the creek? You're welcome.
No, you were at your trunk changing.
I was texting them back and forth about work, and they were like, "Man, this sucks out here." I said, "Yeah, wait till you see the view that I'm looking at."
Oh my Lord! I said, I can't believe you took that picture without my permission.
You had clothes on.
Oh, I was in my
You were underwear changing
nice.
in the back of your car.
I feel bad for someone today. I was Winnie the Poohing it in the bathroom, and I think they got a picture they didn't want to see. And you know what? I figured out when that happened. I was like, this is why I Winnie the Pooh it, because one, it's easier to go Winnie the Pooh style in the bathroom to pee pee. Two, it's really freeing because I've been sweating all day. That fan that's in there just took
Is this
care
really
of a lot of
happening
it.
right now?
Yes.
And
three, the person that walks in and sees that, they got two things out of it. They got a terrible picture in their mind, and they got a funny story or terrible story to tell someone. So
you just made somebody. You're making somebody else laugh at your expense.
Yep, that's exactly what I'm doing. I'm giving them something to talk about.
Oh Lord.
They're
Well,
talking
anyways, we're off to Winnie the Pooh, and
Tell us
I
about
could call it
yourself
Winnie the
other
Peeing.
than Winnie the Pooh.
let's go back to last year,
June
time.
Yeah.
What
So-
happened that brought you
so I
back
grew
to a
up-
relationship with the Lord?
So I grew up in church.
We didn't ask you about that.
Well, you're getting
I'm
it
just kidding.
because you got to have this backstory. I grew up in church.
Way to stand up for yourself, John.
Yeah, no, you don't control this podcast. I got the board. I'll turn you down, boy.
It'll take him a minute to do it.
Yeah, you
Hang
have
on,
to
here
Google
we
it to
go.
figure out how to do
Oh
it.
man, I didn't have all the red buttons go. Grew up in church. Let me see. I don't know where to begin. So, grew up in church. My dad, my parents have been married forever. They met in Charleston. They were, dad was kind of lost. They got right with the Lord, moved up here, and been going to church, and I don't know, there was always something missing. There was always something. I always did the prayer, and they'd preach about hellfire, brimstone, all that, rapture's coming, all that stuff. All that fear-based religion stuff. Which is necessary sometimes, but not all the time. Especially for a kid trying to come into his own and figure things out. I'll tell you what, though, grace is a lot better than fear.
Oh,
you know?
yeah. Oh, yeah.
So, let me see. Dad was kind of mean. He was different at church than he was at home.
Yeah.
And left me with a lot of resentment, a lot of harm and anger and stuff like that. And mom, she was sexually abused as a child, so she was on both ends. She was either happy or a viper. She tried to kill herself when I was 13. So I had a lot of hurt. I was looking for love in other places that
Looking for love.
Yeah, pretty much.
all the wrong
didn't hurt me.
places.
You know what I mean? And so built a lot of circles around people that I shouldn't have given them power in, stuff like that. So it affected me, and the idea of religion is work harder, do harder, be better, be righteous, be perfect. That's not something that any man can attain.
Yeah.
So I got married, had 2 girls, and just went to work and just started not believing. You know what I mean? It was easier to not believe in a man that could come to earth as God, in human form and sacrifice himself to fulfill the law and do what he did, than to work harder and be perfect and do all that. I was tired of it, man. So back in May, I was just tired of it all, and just, my wife and I, we're still not perfect, but we were just arguing and arguing. My daughters were hating me. I had come through so much pain. My father-in-law passed away, from in my care, he had a big old open wound in his back, got sepsis in his blood, and he wasn't married because he was an alcoholic, and my mother-in-law was done with him. And so I took on this burden that I killed him. It made my wife have to choose to, let him go, and then my brother-in-law, he, good guy, one of my best friends. He called me one day and said, I don't feel good, man. And so I went over to their house and they were like, you should take him to the ER, get him checked out, because he was just acting funny. And old lazy John, selfish John didn't want to do that. So I just took him to his mother-in-law's house, and we just sat there, and my wife come in, and his eyes are like rolling back into his head, and they're like, you need to take him to the ER now. And so I took him to the ER, and he had diabetic ketoacidosis. His blood sugar was in the 700s. Mm-hmm. Then he had a stroke to his brainstem, and he passed away. Mm. So that I took that onto myself. And then my dad, he had all kinds of physical complications and heart failure and all that. And we had a better relationship after we got older and stuff like that. But, that hurt was still there, and I wasn't there when he passed away, but, it was good when he left. So just all this stuff. Then my wife got really sick, and she's got liver failure and ulcerative colitis and large spleen, all these medical problems. So that's kind of a burden. We still deal with it, but, we're together. And so just tired of it all. I'm like, he's not real. Who would put a person through this stuff? What kind of guy would do that? You know what I mean? So, if he doesn't care about me, screw it. So back in May, I was just wits end, man, tired of working and just tired of it all. I had shut myself off and walled myself out, just destroyed relationships with my wife and with my daughters, that I'm still trying to rebuild, but had a gun in my hand at the end of the bed, 2 a.m., put it to my head. And I said, you got one more chance. You better show up or I don't care. And I cried out to God, and he showed up, man.
Amen.
So called Josh and CT and told them I was sorry for, hating on them, because I had so much, hate towards them, just didn't want to. I was just tired of it. Yeah.
Well, we pick on you a lot and give you a lot of grief, but we are thankful you're here.
I hate you, Bruce.
That's why you died 3 times last week.
No, this has been fun. I really enjoy it.
I am happy that you're here. You do bring a lot of light. Yeah, there are some times where you go a little too far with your pervertedness and joking.
Well, you should have seen me before, man. I'm a lot tamer now.
You should have seen all of us before. I mean, we're but you bring a lot of joy to my life. My little boy loves you. You've been good to him. And there's plenty of people that, I know all these guys are going to miss you next week. They'll probably miss your grits a little more. I don't know, though. I'm going to make them next week, and they might be a little better.
You shut your mouth. If you add cream cheese and I find out about it,
that sounded like a threat to me. I think there's cream cheese already in the fridge.
No, I'm going to do a poll on the Facebook page.
There's no cream cheese involved in grits.
Hey, those cream cheese grits were amazing. Can we shout out those grits? Those
the lumpy ones from today?
The freezer? You shut your mouth, Bruce. Those grits were so soft and tender. They were delicious.
Not today.
Not the grits. The biscuits. Sorry.
The biscuits. Yeah.
Yeah.
And we did not put a moist, wet pan in there. We did not.
Timmy's grits were pretty good, but yours did come out really good. So I think yours were better.
You said grits again.
Biscuits.
Oh, yeah. Biscuits.
Yeah, your biscuits were way better this week.
Buttermilk biscuits.
And it's a lot easier. It's a lot easier to do than the canned ones.
It definitely is. You just dump them in there, straighten them out, throw them in the grill.
Why the frozen ones? Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Okay.
Why do we keep burning them on the bottom though?
It's just that grill.
Hot. Yeah.
Yeah. We need to rotate them around a little bit.
Gotcha.
But
hey, we got a new oven.
That's right. We gotta get it unloaded and get that motor figured out. And
God is good.
Is it in the back of that trailer?
Yeah.
Nice.
God is good. He gave us a huge commercial stove, griddle.
See, there's another opportunity for the fanfare and the golf clap and the.
Yeah. Thank you, Brother Timmy. Shout out.
Yep. Victory Baptist Church, Brother Timmy.
I don't think
There we go. Jordan is our backup guy. He's going to be the main one.
the meme
We're gonna
guy.
get Jordan a laptop and make him the media guy.
Yeah. George just gave a dirty look there.
I've been
I don't
asking
think
for a
that's-
laptop for
No,
business for
we're gonna-
like 6 months.
We're gonna take John's laptop that he has, and you're gonna use it.
me. You can pry it on my cold dead hand. Can you find him a laptop for you?
No, not from Timu.
No,
We're
it'll
good.
be from Amazon. I'll get you a good refurb.
No, realistically, I need to go iPad because
Oh, okay.
Technology, bro.
you can't carry Wi-Fi on a laptop around with you.
Oh, you need like a Verizon
Yeah,
iPad.
I need
yeah.
something for work.
Yeah.
My notepads are like,
Lenovo's got a pretty good one. You can use it as a tablet. It flips all the way over and hooks to your phone.
Don't you
That's
buy
what
a
I
Lenovo?
use.
Just get an Apple iPad, please.
yeah, my notepads are getting outrageous at work.
Jordan
You
has
should
got
see me
the
in Aaron.
awesomest notebooks. We're like flipping through.
Well, I think I found.
No, I'm talking about the
y'all-
laptop. It flips over like a notebook. You can write on it, whatever type. Yeah.
Jordan can't type.
Oh, I can type.
I know you can. You got them WASD keys down,
Yeah.
brother. That's forward, backward, left, right in a
Yeah.
video game. Aaron, you're used to the Sega Genesis.
I'm not a
controller.
gamer, bro.
I know.
I was wondering what he was talking about. I'm glad he said it's from
Yeah,
the games
I'm-
because I had no idea.
I'm not a gamer. I try to play Mortal Kombat with Jackson. I'm good for about 2 games, and then I'm like,
Yeah.
this is not fun.
I really needed you last night when my buddy started talking about how he didn't believe in God. Because, I don't know. I don't know the right things to say. I'm out here learning too. And
Yeah.
I was trying so hard to find what to say. But I really could have used you and
Did
your
you pray?
wisdom.
Did you ask?
I
Did. You
did.
pray?
I did.
My
But at
bad,
that
man.
point in time, it was too late for me to,
So what I find, especially with somebody that's not a believer, right? It's not like you're being challenged. You got to be able to quote this scripture, quote that scripture. And it's kind of like you had brought reference up to the guy that's just now getting his kids, for the 24 hours for the week. Just be real. Tell him what's going on in your life. Tell him what you feel and the changes that you feel and that you see, and be relatable. Because it's not about being able to quote this or quote that. I'll never be that guy just because the way I retain stuff, it's not that way. Certain things will trigger, but just be real with them and tell them how you feel and what you're going through and what you've overcome. And that's how you're going to reach those people.
I think that's the biggest thing to reaching people is being relatable. Like, you go sit in a church service to a pastor that stands up there and gives you a strict 3-point sermon and doesn't make it relatable, you're not going to remember nothing he said.
Yeah.
Right.
His argument was more of like I respect it and I know it's like a good way to live. And if you do live by it, you're doing right by people, yada, yada. He had a completely different, I don't believe in God talk as any other talk I've ever had.
Yeah.
It was like, good for you. Great. I love that you're doing that. I know it's a good way to live, this and that. And then that's why I was kind of like,
So what was his kick? What's his tick?
Is it factual? Like he just like, facts can be altered, like historical.
no.
That was my biggest turning point,
And-
was understanding.
That's more of my brother's kick.
Yeah.
And actually, my brother just agreed to come to the thing next Friday.
That's awesome.
That's awesome.
And my
I'm gonna
brother
find,
is
I'm gonna
like
find a good one for next week.
super science, like very smart. My brother knows stuff that is like, why do you know this?
It's like my
Seriously, and he's been that way our whole life. He's been way too smart for his own good, and that's kind of where he's at. Just like
You know who helped me out a lot? Cliff Nechtel. He goes to those college campuses, and a lot of them have that, like, how do you even know it's real? And he's like, it's like 40 authors over 700 years
Yeah.
of the Bible. And, a lot of times they get to, the whole, how do you know King James wasn't altered, blah, 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 and it's just text that's lived throughout history,
Yeah.
and it's factual, there's proof, 500 people
Saw
plus
Jesus
saw
after he
him
was dead.
resurrected.
Right.
yeah, and his whole thing was basically like, just the thought of there being someone that could fix it all, could change it all, and here not. And all I really knew to say was, like Aaron tells me all the time, we're human. We got free will. We're gonna make mistakes. But
And that's the key. I mean, it's the free will is what throws it.
Yeah.
Right? So that's the whole point of it.
So one thing I tell people is God never intended for the world to be like this. if you read the Bible,
And that's what
Right.
we talked
Adam
about as
and
well.
Eve was in paradise. That's what it was described as. It was in the Garden of Eden. It was paradise.
One rule.
One rule. That was it. Don't eat from that tree. And as soon as they broke that rule and ate, that allowed sin and free will into the. But
And it's
God
been getting worse ever
created
since.
them with free will.
I brought
He
that
said,
up
"Hey,
last night as well.
I'm going to give you all this, and it's yours. Live here
One rule.
forever. But I'm going to give you free will to choose to either eat from that tree or not eat from that tree." And we chose, well, we didn't choose, but somebody chose to eat from that tree.
Women.
And it ruined, but you blame her. But the Bible says that Adam was right there with her when the serpent was there.
Yeah.
But that just goes to show you the men's supposed to rule the house.
Yep.
Right.
He
But
could-
it's
he could have
harder to
said
do.
no.
It's harder to do with some of these women.
Yeah, you come tell my wife what not to do.
Yeah.
You know what I love about Genesis though is even after they ate of the fruit, the one rule of the Almighty God is they covered themselves in fig leaves because they were
They
ashamed.
immediately knew they
So
were
They were
naked.
ashamed.
Yeah.
They didn't. You know what? God used to walk with them in the garden.
Yeah.
And after they ate of that fruit, the one rule, he still showed up.
Yeah, he was still there. He still loved them.
Still showed up.
Yep.
They were ashamed, and they were, all the rules and all the laws that came after that were theirs. Were man.
So one thing that's hard to for some people, like when we went to DC, I had a conversation with an Uber driver who's from Palestine, and he agreed Jesus is the Messiah. He agreed that he came, he died, he rose again. But what his main thing was, he's like, I'm over there. I see kids and women get killed all the time. He was like, how does a God allow that to happen? Because of free will. Because when he gave us the entire world, we were supposed to be perfect.
Mm-hmm.
No sin. We could walk. We'd love. We'd have everything we needed. And then we chose to do wrong.
Yeah.
So that one thing, and this is what I tell the kids a lot, you can choose your sin, but you can't choose your consequences.
Yeah.
That's right.
So that one sin in the very beginning of time is why we have what we have now. It's just gradually gotten worse.
Snowball.
When you
effect.
allow one sin in, just like, for instance, we heard some messages about porn and stuff and cell phones at Arise. You might be flipping through your phone and you see one nude pic on a reel. Well, that gets your mind going. Well, then later on the next day, you go and you look at it a little longer.
Yep.
And then the next day you go look at 2 and then 3 and then 4. Next thing you know, you're watching a whole porno movie and then your life is consumed by it. It just snowballs. Like you just said, it's a snowball effect. When you allow one in, 10 more are going to come.
What comes with it? Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's hard for people that don't believe to understand that part of religion or that part of being a Christian, that these things happen, not because, yes, God can snap his fingers and everything can stop.
Yeah.
But he loves us enough that he died for us, but he also loves us enough not to force us to want him.
Yeah. To love him.
It's our free will.
Yeah.
So by him loving us enough not to force us, that's when this other stuff creeps in. And that's why we have the world we have today. And it's hard for them to realize that.
A lot of people don't understand the grace that's
Yeah.
involved in that. You know what I mean? That's hard to wrap around when you can't forgive someone for doing wrong to you. A lot of people that's the biggest hurdle. You know what I mean?
You know
Is
what's
grace.
one thing that I see, and I see it a decent amount. It's hard for me, but it's amazing. It's the amazing part of grace is like, let's say you hear of somebody killing, let's just say a teenager or a husband or a wife, and then you watch the trial and the family member says, we forgive you.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's hard.
Yeah.
Because I'm going to tell you right now, if somebody
I know
come and kill
that's
my
it.
wife or my kids, I'm not going to say I'd forgive them.
I don't
Yeah.
think I'd
We're
see the
supposed
next
to.
day.
But that's what we're called to do. But to watch somebody else do that, that's grace.
Yeah.
That's tough.
Me and Adam were 180 recovery and game changers. We were talking the other day about Peter, and how how Peter denied Christ 3 times, you know, and Peter, if you read, he was one of the greatest disciples. And if you think about that, why wasn't Matthew called out? Why wasn't all these other disciples called out in that crowd? And, you know, Jesus said, you're going to deny me three times. You know, if you think about it, Peter was the only one to step out on the waves in that storm and trust in God. And if you think about him getting called out in that crowd, that's every Christian. We all deny him.
Yep.
But he was the only one called out. And if you're a follower and you believe, you're going to deny him at some point. It may be looking at porn. It may be, you know, people pleasing. It may be any of these defects that you have. You're going to deny Christ at some point, but his grace is sufficient that it's all covered, you know? So that was a good thought. And I was saying, you know, it sounds like your buddy he may be so used to the storm he's in, the prison he set himself in. He just doesn't understand the grace of it all and the peace he can get in.
And I tell people too,
Christ.
I would rather follow Jesus and live the way that life is intended to live
and be wrong.
Oh, well, I was wrong again.
Than to not live for him.
I said
and be wrong.
I said the same thing to him last night.
Yeah.
And the thing about it is he grew up, he had a rough childhood and all, a pretty rough childhood, but he's made something out of himself.
Yeah.
He probably makes $250,000 a year. He's living a dream, but he's still not
the dream.
He's still not, you know, completely happy.
Unfortunately,
you know, he ain't figuring out what that missing is, no matter what he's trying. And
just tell him to give it a try. What's it gonna hurt?
And that's basically where because until I've known this guy since I was a kid, but until last night, you know, I would have never thought that, you know, he didn't believe. And then when he told me, I was kind of like, you know,
what do I say? Yeah.
Yeah. And I was kind of overwhelmed, and it kind of helped Connor that's been coming to the devotions, my other buddy that I told you I was super happy to see here. He actually chimed in with me and tried to help because he grew up with him as well, actually right across the street. And that's why I say I needed some backup last night, because me and Connor couldn't really handle it, you know, that we didn't have the words for it. But
all it is faith, and people find faith hard to be, but when you walk out to your car and crank it up, you don't even think about it. You just think it's going to crank up. Right. That's the same way with believing in God. You know,
not
he's
my
there. But what I'm saying is, like, you know, you don't see the wind, but you know that it's there.
Yeah, that's a good one.
You know,
you don't see the air you breathe.
That's right. But you wake up every day by faith, knowing that there's going to be more air to breathe. You know, and I don't understand these yahoos that, you know, just think that the world said boom.
Oh,
and it was here, and then people started growing legs out of tadpoles and all that stuff. And
I do think I came from a gorilla.
So, I mean, you definitely came from a silverback.
Hey, can we get bananas next week?
You've just been sheltered from the sun.
See, that is good. We need ketchup and bananas.
I thought about bringing ketchup last night.
We need it.
Why do we need ketchup?
Not together.
For the eggs. Yeah, not together.
Yeah. Ketchup on bananas.
Who needs a banana?
Me, I love bananas.
I do love a good banana in the morning.
Yeah, they are pretty good.
A pink banana.
They help with
off the rails.
Off the rails.
Edit.
CSX right there, baby.
But yeah, and I just that whole evolution stuff.
So if two dust balls hit each other, and you know, CT did this, where'd the two dust balls come from?
Yeah.
Right. If there's nothing here on Earth, how do you get a dust ball?
You know, I was listening to a book, and I don't read the book, I listen to it. But people have a hard time understanding the difference between a creator and a craftsman. You get that? A craftsman needs tools, they need supplies, they need materials to do what they're crafting.
Creator needs nothing.
Needs nothing.
It happens. Yeah. You know what I mean? So, but your buddy, it sounds like he's on that line, and it sounds like you're probably planting a seed.
That's all. That's all you can do.
That's all you can do.
You plant that seed, and you keep living for it.
Either he's going to nourish it, or other people are going to pour into him and nourish it, or God's going to put him in a hard place where he's going to have to see it.
Yeah. And a lot of times, the sad reality is a lot of people won't come to Jesus until they get in that hard time. And when they're in the lowest part of their life and he shows himself to them, he's been showing himself to them the whole time, but they're so low that they can't see anything else but him.
And if you come from a bad place, he's got a testimony that can be used as a ripe tree with fruit. Yeah. It'll happen. Don't stress yourself out about it, man. Do what you do.
So let me ask you this. How did that conversation come up?
I was going to get off the game and I was like, I got to be at the shop at 6. And he was like, oh,
that's right.
He works 410s. Like I say, so he actually works on the part that makes our stealth fighter jets, our military. He is the guy that is responsible for making sure the thing that keeps it off the radar.
You might not should have said that.
Yeah,
I didn't mention any names or nothing like that.
There's a red beam. That's what he does.
He gets paid really good. He's a very smart dude, and he was talking about, I'd never work Fridays or whatever, and I was like, well, I got to get off anyways. I got to be up there, to cook at 6. And
right.
He was like, golly, what are you doing at 6 a.m? And I was like, we do our devotion, this and that. And he was like, oh, I didn't know this was one of those kind of chats, And it's like, what do you mean? You don't believe in God? And that's when it kind of snowballed from there. And
that's when you should have yelled, this is a Christian Discord.
Yeah. So tell him, look, I'm not telling anybody about you. Come up there, eat breakfast with us, hang out.
Well, he lives in North Carolina now, so it'd be kind of tough.
Drive on down.
He doesn't work on Fridays.
Yeah, he could do it. Tell him to come see Jordan. Yeah, man, you got this. Okay, so we got everybody. Well, we should talk more about Jordan and then.
We talked about me earlier.
Okay. Aaron, give us your background.
Oh, we already did.
Did we?
No.
Yeah, I thought
a little bit.
You grew up in a kind of broken home, right?
Yeah, my stepdad, who I consider much like Jordan, he's been there since I was 8 years old. He's my dad. That's who taught me everything that I need to know and who took time and raised me when he didn't have to. So that's my dad. They brought me to victory, and we was there until I was 18 and decided I didn't want no part of it.
Yeah.
There was a lot of things he did, not bad, but in the way he raised me that I didn't agree with, about how strict he was. That was the worst part. Like, he did a great job. Like, he did what he was supposed to. He taught me my work ethic. He taught me, that God was first. He taught me how to love a woman. He treated my mom great and still does to this day. And, how to raise my kids and love them. But I felt like he was a little strict on me, and I didn't want to be that way. So I left at 18. So I tried to leave before then, but it just didn't work out.
He did teach you how to buy an awesome truck. Because you got an awesome truck now. Like,
if he taught me that, I'd have a Nissan or some crap like that. I got a real truck,
man truck.
Yeah,
it's not like your old school bus yellow one, John.
Yeah, but he was an example to me, and even in him doing the things that I didn't think he was, it taught me how I should father my children. How to do the same way. But in his defense, he was just raising me the way that he was taught.
Yeah.
So, and that's one thing that Better Man, shout out Better Man, is taught is we can't put all the blame on our parents because they were only doing what they were taught.
Yep.
We have to be the change. We have to break generational curses and do it differently. We have to be intentional with it so we don't keep doing the same thing over and over and over. But I ran from God for years and years and years, and I always still had that sense of being a Christian, and still some things I'd done, I'd be like, man, I really shouldn't have done that. God, what's God think of me and this and that? But I knew deep down that I didn't have that relationship with him. And I ran for years and years and years, and just in and out of bars. And like I said, every night, me and my buddies, my roommates and some close friends, we had a different spot to go every night where there was a drink special. Like, we raced to get home from work to see who can make it to the bar quicker.
You were clubbing.
Yeah, pretty much. And chasing women. And
did you have a spiky hairdo and the pearl, the shell necklace?
No, that was somebody else.
The little the fox emblems on your t-shirts.
I did have some fox shirts, but that was somebody else you're thinking about.
You had bedazzled jeans on your back pockets.
No. But no, I lived a wicked lifestyle for a lot of years, and And even still to this day, I get conviction about all the people that I hung around that I never witnessed to. And
Yeah.
I knew about Jesus and could have witnessed to, and maybe not, they may not have come to Jesus because of me, but I feel like some of that blood is on my hands because I've lost plenty of people over the past 20, 25 years that I've known and hung out with, that just, overdosed or died in a car wreck. And, I still think about that daily.
Yeah.
How, man, I could have been living for God years ago. I was raised right. I was raised in church. I knew right from wrong, and I knew what I should have been doing, but I wasn't. And the impact, I won't know that until we get to heaven.
Yeah.
Of how many people I could have reached and didn't. But I am thankful that, and I tell everybody jokingly, but I'm serious. God sent my wife along, and at the time that I met her, I had no desire to have a serious relationship. And she thinks I'm joking when I tell her this, but all it took was one time hanging out with her that I knew that there was something different there.
Yeah.
And it was a I ain't gonna say a feeling, but it was a knowing,
An instinct.
Yeah, an instinct that, hey, you better be right with this one.
Yeah.
And we had our ups and downs, and she tried to leave me and I tried to leave her, and I actually broke up with her one time for a couple months, and she never lets me live that down, by the way.
Yeah. I'm gonna bring it up now too.
But we God put us together for a reason, and I knew that, and I think she knew that. And the Lord has conquered many victories in that relationship.
Yeah.
And we're still not perfect, but I truly 100% believe if I hadn't listened to God when He sent her, there's no telling where I'd be right now.
Yeah.
Because it was because of her that in our troubles early in our relationship, she come to me one day. I come home. She said, if we don't get some help, we won't be together no more.
Yeah.
And we did. And we sought counseling, and I'll never forget in that counseling, our first session we had where we split, where she went with the woman and I went with the man. And, we weren't together talking about our problems. He asked me, he said, Aaron, and this was Chris Brown, by the way. He said, what do you think the main problem is? And I'll never forget it. Cause I still hear myself saying it to this day. And, I said, she's not on the same spiritual level as I am.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I'm telling you, 5 minutes after we left that counseling session that day, she never knew what I said.
Yeah.
Until I told her.
Yeah.
And, it was like God started convicting me. He was like, she's not on the same spiritual level as you because you're not saved.
Yeah.
You're not born again.
Yeah.
You don't know me. And for 6 months, I battled that doubt, and I battled that conviction, I guess you would say. And it wasn't a altar calling Sunday where there was people flooding the altars or 50 other people were getting saved. It was just a regular Sunday morning. I was sitting in church and I was white knuckling the pew because I knew what was happening and I knew what he was saying. And I felt him say, hey, this is it.
Yeah.
This is the last time I'm giving you an opportunity. And I walked down and you don't have to go to an altar to get saved. You sit in a chair in your truck or sit in a chair in here and call out on him.
Be at the foot of your bed with a gun in your hand.
Yeah. You can be at the foot of the bed with a gun in your hand or sitting on the toilet. It don't matter. As long as you're wholehearted when you come to him and you're sincere. And I asked him in my heart that day, and man, my life has been different. I'm not going to say I've been perfect, but we've been through some big trials since then. We had a house catch on fire. Matter of fact, it was August of 2016 that I nailed my salvation down. We had bought a house in May. We renovated it, lived in it. August, I gave my heart to Jesus. November, the house burnt to the ground one Sunday night while we were in it.
Daggum.
And I tell everybody, if you do not believe in Jesus, I'm going to tell you about divine intervention.
Yeah.
Because I used to work night shift and my wife worked during the day, and my father-in-law would come to our house. We've had this house since April or May. So yeah, March or April of 2016, we bought the house, renovated it, lived in it. Well, one Thursday evening, no, it was Friday. My father-in-law came to me that Friday morning and he said, hey, I hope you don't mind. I was getting ready for work because I had to leave at like 2 p.m. He said, I hope you don't mind. He said, I was walking around the house yesterday just looking, and y'all got one smoke detector in this house. I said, yeah. He said, well, I went by Lowe's yesterday and I bought 5 or 6 of them to put up. You mind if I put? I said, no, man, you do what you want to, Pop. And that was Friday. That Sunday, I got up and went to church Sunday morning. I came home and for some reason, whatever reason, I don't think we had church that night or we didn't go, but I was sitting out in the deer stand and it was cold. And my wife had been texting me back and forth and she said, it's too cold for the dogs to be outside. We need to go get a heat lamp. And I was like, I am not driving back into town to get a heat lamp for these retarded dogs. So I had a shop light, one of them shop yellow quartz work lights.
They get real hot.
Yeah. So I put it on the back porch. I said, them jokers will stay warm tonight.
Next to his gasoline tank.
No, there was no gas on the porch. Well, we put it back there, and at some point in time, either we had a tarp behind the dog kennel, which was from here to that wall right there, which is probably 10 foot from the kennel, or 8 foot or whatever, from the light. And either the light got too hot and burnt the tarp up, or the dogs pushed it closer and something, whatever it was, it started with that light. But the house started on fire right there on the back porch. And just so happened, my oldest daughter, whose room where it started, was staying with my in-laws that night, because had she not been there, she probably would have died from smoke.
Daggone.
But we went to bed at 10, and I'll never forget it, like 11:47, an hour and 47 minutes after we went to bed, I heard the most god-awful noise I ever heard in my life. And I didn't know what it was. I jumped up, couldn't figure out. Angie's still asleep, by the way. I don't know how she's sleeping through this noise.
Yeah.
But it was that fire alarm. He put one right above the French doors we had on that double wide trailer. And that thing was going off, and the whole casing of that door was just engulfed in flames.
Daggum.
And I was able to get Angie up, get the kids out. And I tell people, if you don't believe in Jesus, there's no way that you can convince me that that wasn't God talking to my father-in-law that day.
Yeah.
Because he knew what was going to happen. And, we went through that. That was 2 months after I gave my life to Jesus. And we ended up getting another house in Grovetown. We lived there for a year. We sold it. We come to North Augusta. 2 years after we moved there, we were coming back on our golf cart from a street festival they had down there. A lady ran through a stop sign and we got in a wreck on our golf cart, man. It threw us 30, 40 feet. I was scared to death when I woke up, when I got up off the ground and come back to that my family was going to be dead. But the Lord saved everybody with no injuries except for me. I got a little bit of nerve damage in my back. And
so I remember that fire, because correct me if I'm wrong, y'all literally lost everything. You had
everything.
Because I remember
I literally was
no
standing
clothes,
on my
no nothing.
When we ran out the house, we were in our night. We were asleep. So luckily the keys were right next to my bed. So when I ran back in there to grab Angie, we had backed her car up to the front porch to unload groceries that night. So we were able to throw the kids in there. I pulled around to my neighbor, or I cut through the yard to go to my neighbor's house, which we knew them pretty good. And I was beating on the door, and they opened the door, and I'm standing there in my underwear, and all I can remember says, "My house is on fire, and Angie and the kids need clothes." And he was just like, "What?" But I literally was standing there in my drawers, and it was so crazy, man, because like standing in that front yard, the fire trucks were pulling up, everything was hectic, but I just remember a peace coming over me, because I knew God said, "Hey, had you not listened and you were still in there, you'd be with me right now."
Yeah.
But you did listen, and I did save you. Now go tell people.
Yeah.
And to me, that was the whole confirmation that, hey, man, this
is a good choice.
Yeah, God's real.
Mm-hmm.
And like I said, we've been through some other stuff since then, man, and God has kept my family together, and I don't deserve them for sure.
Yeah.
But and to live the life I've lived, and to know the fact that He's still using me, or He's still willing to use me, it blows my mind. Like if anybody in this room or in this county or country or world don't deserve it, it's me.
Yeah.
And I just, it still amazes me, really. I mean, I don't have any other words. Like I get to wake up every day. I get to do a job I love with people I love. I get to go to a church and serve with people I love, and get to witness to people and just be allowed to be used for the wickedness that I've done for most of my life until, at 32 years old, and I'm 42 now. So the last 10 years, or I'll be 42 this year. I don't know how old I am.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool, man.
His grace is sufficient.
His grace is sufficient.
Yes, it is.
But if you don't think the Lord's real and you're listening to this, try Him.
Yeah.
That's all I can tell you.
What's it going to hurt?
If you can go to Walmart and buy something that you don't know that you like and try it out for 90 days and take it back, I can guarantee you, if you try Jesus out for 90 days, you won't want to take it back.
You ain't I promise you that. Yeah. And you got to keep an open mind, because it's, people go in there. Well, I'm going to go in there and you got to move me. Right. Go in there with an open mind. Right.
Open heart.
Yeah. And just like anything else, if you want to do something, whether it's a sport or you want to learn a different language or whatever, you got to put some time in it, right? You got to study. You got to know what's going on. You got to practice. So when you go to church and say, "Oh, well, he didn't move me, I'm not going back." Well, what have you done? How about practice? Get in the Word, read it, see what it does in your life. It's a two-sided thing. It's a relationship. But like I said, if you wanted to learn how to shoot a gun, you're going to go practice. You're going to buy ammunition. You're going to see what works for you, what fits you, right? It's the same thing.
What Adam say in our podcast the other, he said,
that pottery.
If you want to get to know a girl, you're not gonna,
you're gonna marry her. You're gonna date her.
Yeah,
you're gonna take her out.
You're gonna read her journals.
Yeah,
right. You're gonna get to know her,
discover her. Yeah,
right. And like our pastor says, when you come try our church out for the first time, give us 3 services. Right. And then if you don't like it, but you can't go try something once and it worked, And you can only get born again once.
But that's all it takes.
Yeah, that's all it takes.
And then if you've been to church before, you've been hurt by church, you can't focus on those experiences.
So I will touch a little bit on that.
Yeah, that can be
So the church is full of what?
Imperfect people.
Yeah.
We're all humans, right?
Yep.
We're all born cut from the same sinful cloth, right?
I'm half gorilla, but yeah.
Well, that's definitely a fact. But, humans are imperfect. If you put your faith in walking into a church in a bunch of humans and don't think that they're going to let you down, you're the one that's mistaken.
Correct.
You go to church for Jesus. You go to church to get fed what you need to feed and be a blessing to others. Somebody is going to let you down.
Yeah.
But you know what? I bet you there's been a time in your life where you went to McDonald's and you got pissed off because they got your order wrong. But I guarantee you went back.
Yep.
Yeah.
I bet you went to Walmart before and couldn't find what you wanted and got mad.
Or you did.
And you went back.
You know what? Not only go back, but, sometimes you have to go to a different location.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, true.
Every church is not the same, and every church is not for everybody.
Yep.
That's why I think there needs to be a lot more churches.
Yeah.
As long as they're a faith-based Bible preaching church.
Yeah.
Gospel, King James version.
Yeah, we're not going to get into that discussion, but, salvation, Jesus died on the cross. Ask Him in your heart. You believe that?
You're set.
Yeah. If you trust in God, He'll help you figure out the rest.
Oh, yeah. He'll work it out for you.
I'm partial to Victory because I grew up there and I've been to 5 or 6 other churches and it just didn't do it for me the way Victory does.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying that Victory's for everybody, but there is a lot of stuff at Victory for everybody to do. And it is growing, and there's plenty of other churches around the CSRA that are Bible believing and powerful churches to where God's doing work in it.
On that subject too, man, it's just there. It's like there's a church on every corner. And I'm about 25 minutes from church, and I bet I passed 20 different churches. And we tried different churches, but you just didn't get, when we went and.
Didn't you get banned from all those?
No, I've never been banned from a church. I've been banned from places.
Well, guys, that's about an hour and 50 minutes of recording there. Is there anything else we need to add?
No, just
listen to our podcast,
join
like,
in,
subscribe,
share it, subscribe,
get on the Facebook,
tell your friends, tell your family.
Gunpowder, Propane, and Jesus. We'd love for you to listen.
Hey, check it out on Facebook. We'll have everything from the men's devotion on there.
Yeah, we'll give updates on the podcast and devotion, and
we got some merch coming, right?
Maybe we'll see. We'll see how that goes.
Hey, we're just like everybody
You're not
else.
supposed to tell everybody.
Yeah, we're gonna have good and bad episodes. Right?
We're not going to have bad episodes.
But we're all human, right?
Yeah,
we're reaching somebody. Just because it doesn't reach you, that's their bad episode. Doesn't mean we're not like reaching McDonald's. Somebody else.
We're going to leave a tomato on there every once in a while. You just have to
pick it off.
Go to the next one.
We're a steakhouse. Sometimes it's just a little overcooked.
And we're going to have great episodes. Those will be the episodes Bruce isn't here. Okay,
we do have a couple guests on our after this one. Our first couple, we're going to try to do a special guest every week. And I know the ones we've already recorded.
Yep.
I said it right that time.
Yes, thank you.
Are pretty awesome episodes.
Evan Schofield,
to give some insight to different people and what the Lord's done in their life and what backgrounds they come
different
from,
backgrounds,
and
different
the
age
troubles,
groups.
and the you're going to hear some alcoholism. You're going to hear some church hurt. You're going to hear some from a guy that's young in ministry with a young family that just trusted God to move across the country.
Yeah.
I think y'all like what's in store, and I've got some other big things that I'm talking to God about that with this men's ministry that is a possibility. So any updates or news will be on the Facebook page. Again, it's what, John?
Gunpowder, Propane, and Jesus Men's Ministry.
That's
on
right.
Facebook.org.
There you go. Well, guys, we appreciate y'all. Keep listening, share it, listen to the next one, and
Jordan, say bye because you didn't get to talk that much.
Later, Gators.
Coolest Jordan Overton I know.
He's my buddy.
Okay. Y'all be good. Thanks for listening.
Thanks for listening, and remember, the smoke may settle, but the embers stay lit. This was the Gunpowder, Propane, and Jesus podcast, where stories ignite, spirits rise, and the fire never quits.